The world calls you a gangster. But inside the towering gates of the organization, you are something else entirely. You are a family member. You are a soldier. You are a ghost. This is not a life you simply walk into. It is a life that consumes you, layer by layer, rank by rank. From the lowest servant to the lonely god on the throne, this is the anatomy of the Yakuza life. It begins at the bottom. Level 1, the apprentice. You think you joined a brotherhood? Wrong. You joined a boot camp designed to break your ego into dust. Your day starts before the sun rises at 4 a.m. sharp. There is no alarm clock, only the terrifying fear of being late. You do not reach for a gun. You reach for a rag and a bucket of freezing water. You are a Hayazumi, literally someone living in the room. You have no home, no privacy, and no name. To the senior members, you are invisible, a tool that breathes. Your hands are raw from scrubbing the wooden floors of the headquarters until they gleam like glass. You spend hours washing the boss's black limousine, terrified that a single water spot might remain on the chrome. If the boss needs a cigarette, you run. If a senior member drops his jacket, you catch it before it hits the floor. You are unpaid. You are exhausted. You sleep in a cramped dormitory with 5 other recruits, smelling of sweat and anxiety. You are hungry, but you eat last. You are tired, but you sleep least. This is not hazing. This is filtration. They are watching to see if you will break. If you survive the humiliation, the scrubbing, and the silence, you might just be ready to take the first step. Level 2, the junior leader. The mop is gone. In its place, you hold a stack of bills. You have graduated from being a servant to being an earner. You are young, hungry, and dangerous. You walk the streets of the neon districts, the red light zones, where the desperate come to play. Your job is simple: generate cash. You oversee the street-level rackets, illegal card games in smoke-filled basements, collecting protection fees from terrified shopkeepers, or ensuring that the local construction crews are using your family's trucks. You buy your first flashy suit, polyester and bright, trying to look the part. You wear sunglasses at night to hide your eyes. You have a small crew of teenagers who look up to you, waiting for your command. You feel like a king. But reality is a cold splash of water. You are not a king. You are a tax collector who is also being taxed. The organization operates on a brutal pyramid scheme. Every month, you face the Jonokin, the association dues. It doesn't matter if the police raided your gambling den, or if business is slow. You must pay your superiors a heavy cut. If you make $5,000, you hand over 3. If you try to hide even a single coin, you risk losing a finger. The pressure is suffocating. You are constantly looking over your shoulder, squeezed between the police who know your face and the bosses who demand their envelope. Level 3, the senior brother. You aren't running errands anymore. You have earned your scars. Perhaps you disappeared for a few years. You sat in a cold, concrete cell, staring at a steel door, keeping your mouth shut while the detectives screamed in your face. You took the fall for a crime you didn't commit, or maybe one you did. It doesn't matter. You served your time without whispering a single name. That silence was your currency. Now you are back on the streets, but the dynamic has shifted. You are an Aniki, a big brother. You are a mentor to the new recruits. You watch them scrub the floors, just as you once did, correcting their posture, teaching them the precise angle of the bow, teaching them the art of intimidation without raising a voice. You manage a specific territory now, a row of hostess bars or a cluster of pachinko parlors. The money comes to you. You count the stacks, take your percentage, and pass the rest up the chain. But this rank comes with blood. When a rival family tries to muscle into your district, the boss doesn't call a lawyer. He calls you. You are the frontline commander. You don't use a gun yet. That brings too much heat. You grab a metal pipe or a baseball bat wrapped in tape. You gather your crew in the alleyway, the adrenaline sour in your mouth. You are respected, yes, but you are still expendable. You are the violence that keeps the peace. Level 4. The deputy. The bat is traded for a briefcase. The street corner is traded for a swivel chair. You have ascended to the operational tier. You are no longer a street thug. You are a business executive in the shadow economy. You realize now that the Yakuza is, at its heart, a corporation. You manage the front companies, the waste disposal firms, the staffing agencies, the real estate consultancies. To the outside world, these are legitimate businesses. To you, they are laundromats, washing dirty money until it comes out clean and crisp. You handle logistics. This is a high-stress test of precision. When the boss needs to travel for a funeral or a summit with another clan, you are the travel agent from hell. You plan the route to avoid traffic and police checkpoints. You decide which armored sedan is used. You position the bodyguards. You carry 2 phones, one for the daylight world, one for the underworld. You never mix them. You are the oil in the machine, ensuring the gears turn silently. If everything goes right, nobody knows your name. If the boss is 5 minutes late, or if a reporter gets too close, the failure is entirely yours to bear. Level 5. The headquarters chief. You have moved into the inner sanctum. You run the administration of the family. Your weapon of choice is now information. You manage a team of crooked lawyers and accountants. When a soldier gets arrested at 2 a.m., you are the first call. You don't panic. You calmly dispatch the legal team to the precinct before the police can even start the interrogation. You know the law better than the cops do. You are also the cleaner, not of crime scenes, but of paper trails. You are the guardian of secrets. You know where the ledgers are hidden. You know which hard drives need to be drilled and dissolved in acid if the police come knocking. You ensure that no matter what happens on the street, the line of evidence never reaches the top floor. You burn memos. You wipe servers. You bribe officials. You are the firewall. You live in a state of high-functioning paranoia, knowing that one slipped piece of paper could bring the whole empire crashing down. Level 6. The executive advisor. You stand on the balcony of a luxury high-rise, looking down at the sprawling city. The lights shimmer like gold dust. You point to a district in the west and whisper, "We take that." You are now an aide to the underboss, a strategist of economic warfare. You have reached the edge of the inner circle. You command a region. You have 5 or 6 crews kicking up money to you. Your mandate is expansion. You don't take territory with fists anymore. You take it with debt. You identify a struggling business or a rival gang's front operation. You don't send thugs. You send men in Italian suits. You buy the building they operate in. You buy their debt notes from the bank. You squeeze them slowly, suffocating their cash flow until they are gasping for air. Then you arrange the meeting. A quiet tea house, private and serene. You pour tea for the rival leader. You smile warmth that doesn't reach your eyes. You offer them a choice. Join the family or lose everything. Most choose to join. You absorb their territory without firing a single shot. You drive a foreign supercar, wear watches that cost more than a house, and dine in the finest restaurants. But you must tread carefully. The underboss is watching. If you shine too brightly, if you become too popular or too rich, you become a threat. You must be brilliant, but subservient. You are a warlord, but you are still on a leash. Level 7. The operations chief. The map on the table is detailed. Beside it lie 3 black pistols, scrubbed clean of fingerprints. Cold steel, heavy with intent. The time for business is over. The time for war has begun. You are the operations chief, the sword of the family. A rival clan has crossed the line. Perhaps they shot one of your men, or refused to pay a territorial tax. The insult cannot stand. You are too valuable to pull the trigger yourself. You are the architect of death. 3 young men stand before you, trembling slightly, eyes wide. You give them the guns and a photograph. You tell them where the target eats dinner. You tell them, do not return until it is done. Then, the long wait begins. You sit in a darkened room, the police scanner crackling with static. You smoke chain cigarettes, the ashtray overflowing. You are playing chess with human lives. You hear the code on the radio. Shots fired, 3rd Street. Your heart hammers against your ribs. You check your watch. Your team has 3 minutes to vanish before the dragnet closes. The phone buzzes. We're pinned down, a voice whispers. You have to think instantly. You visualize the city grid. Ditch the car, you order. Take the subway tunnel. I have a clean extraction team waiting at the north exit. You make another call to a diversion team to start a riot across town to draw the police away. You don't sleep for days. You orchestrate the violence block by block until the rival boss flees or sues for peace. When the war ends, you are the victor, but your hands are stained with invisible blood. Level 8, the underboss. You walk into the boardroom. The air changes. 20 men, hardened criminals who fear nothing, stand up instantly. They bow low, their foreheads parallel to the table, and they do not move until you take your seat. You are the Wakagashira, the underboss, the number 2. If the boss is the king, you are the prime minister. You run the empire. You are the CEO of a multi-million-dollar conglomerate. You review financial reports that track billions of yen in construction, gambling, entertainment, and stock market manipulation. You see a crew falling short on payments? You don't ask why. You hurl a heavy glass ashtray against the wall, and the room freezes. Fix it, you say softly, or I will replace you. The terror you inspire is absolute, but your power comes with the ultimate burden. You are the shield. The police, the government, the public, they are all hunting for the supreme boss. It is your duty to stand in the way. If a major crackdown comes, if undeniable evidence is found, you step forward. You walk into the police station and say, I did it. I gave the order. You accept a 10 or 15-year prison sentence to keep the father free. You do this without hesitation. It is the price of your rank. You are the heir to the throne, respected by all, feared by many. But you are living on borrowed time, waiting to be the martyr. Level 9, the supreme boss. Silence. That is the sound of the top. You sit on the tatami mats in the grand hall. Dozens of men are kneeling before you, heads bowed to the floor, terrified to even meet your gaze. You have ascended. You are the kumicho, the don, the father. You are no longer a criminal. You are a ghost. You never touch illegal money. You never give a direct order that can be recorded. You speak in metaphors. You whisper a displeasure about a rival, and 3 days later, that rival vanishes. Between you and the crime, there are 10 layers of insulation. You meet with the heads of other great families, carving up the country like a cake. You decide who eats and who starves. You wield power that rivals politicians and CEOs. But look closer. The luxury is a prison. You cannot trust anyone. Your best friend covets your seat. The young captains are hungry for your fall. The police have a dedicated task force whose only purpose in life is to put you in a cage. You cannot walk to the park. You cannot buy your own groceries. You live in a fortress surrounded by high walls, security cameras, and bodyguards who watch your every breath. You are isolated by your own power. There is no retirement. You do not get to quit and play golf in the countryside. You will sit on this throne, watching for the knife in the dark until the very end of your days. You chose this life, or perhaps the life chose you. And now, at the very peak of the mountain, you realize the truth. You own the city, but you do not own yourself.